What's going on, guys? It's your boy Trolltek here for another video. So today we are finally finishing off Revenge Love. This is the final 2 episodes. I'm still on the fence if I want to do the BTS. I might make it like a Patreon exclusive video if I do it. So I might do it, I might not. I'm not sure yet. But we'll see. But if I do it, it might be a Patreon exclusive content that I just put on my Patreon channel. Okay, I don't know yet. I'm still thinking about it. Anyway, so this is the final chapter. Like, even if we watch the BTS, it's the behind the scenes. So it's not like we're done with this universe, basically. So that's kind of end of an era. I had a good time with this show for sure. So it's kind of sad to say goodbye to it a bit. But I'm excited to move on to other shows. And the next show that we're watching, next BL we're watching at least, is basically been decided. No, I won't spoil it. I will say it's a short BL. I'll take like 2 videos to do. That's all I'll say, spoiler wise. And I'll probably do it as like a binge reaction where I just like edit the whole thing and then I just release it as one video. But all I'll say, a lot of people have been wanting me to do this show that I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet. So I'll just leave it. I'll leave you guys in suspense until the episodes actually drop. But I already know what the next one we're doing is. I'm still like, there's a couple of shows that I want to do that are longer shows, but I just want to do a couple of shorter shows in between every once in a while. So I don't just do like 1 or 2 shows within the span of like 3-4 months or whatever. So I'm going to get a couple of short shows out of the way, and then maybe we'll do another big one. But anyway, that's enough of that. So where we left off, Chi Cheng is in jail, basically. Well, he's in a holding cell. He's not actually in jail, but he's at the police station. And I suppose right now this episode is going to go through his trial and stuff, and like getting him out of jail. Well, he's not really in jail, but you know what I mean. Like getting him out of custody, at least. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. My theory is, I think Shuei is going to be, he's probably going to work with Chi Cheng's dad in some way to get him out of jail. But we've also got the thing that dad's blaming Shuei for Chi Cheng being in jail as well. So that's going to be a drama for sure. But yeah, I'm interested to get into this next episode, these last episodes really. So without further ado, let's finish this show. Here we go. I only want you. Okay. This is probably going to be Shuei finally, like, I guess, not admitting, but kind of vocalizing that he wants to be with Chi Cheng. Because it's always been this unspoken thing, right? Like, yeah, they want each other, but they never have really vocalized the well, Chi Cheng has, but I don't think Shuei's fully vocalized it, actually. Like, they both know that that's his intent, that they want to be together, but he's never really said it. And yeah, we learned some guy named Wang Zhenglong was behind this whole thing, and then one of the workers was also suspicious. Oh, that's that guy, the guy that jumped him. So UA is behind it again, I reckon. Bruh, are you serious? I literally just started recording. I think Yu's behind this. UA, I don't know how to say her name. When is this guy going to learn not to do things on his own? Like, what do you think you can do in this situation? Bro, Bro, you're in your 40s still doing shit like this? Please, get a job. Bro thinks they had a threesome. Oh yeah, because I forgot Chi Cheng jumped him. Forgot all about that. I was like, what's his beef? But okay, that makes sense. But how did he even like get the records? Like who? Well, I guess he has someone working. I don't think it's about money, bro. It's about revenge. Yeah, that's a big step. Actually, when you think about it, like that shows his love for Chi Cheng. He wouldn't do this for anyone that he didn't like. Actually, no, that's a stretch. I think even if it was somewhat like just a friend, he would still do the same thing. But it is a big shift for him sacrificing money for Chi Cheng. I thought the girl was behind it, but I think she's got nothing to do with this. I want to be straight up with you guys. Like, I like this show, so this is I'm making to give it a criticism, but I will say this show, and I do know that I think correct me if I'm mistaken, the show was taken off the air like because of censorship, and then brought back, but it was like edited down severely, so that could be a reason why this is the case. But I will say I think after like episode 18, I want to say after episode 18, I do feel like narratively, like with foreshadowing and the way the characters are written, plots written and stuff, I think it's really taken a dive. And it's not that it's bad per se, but the quality that it had in the first 18 episodes is clearly not there, because like my number one issue with this whole plot line right now is, first of all, there was no foreshadowing that this plot was happening in any way, right? So it just kind of came out of nowhere. And then this guy really hasn't been foreshadowed to appear. No one's mentioned him in like 20 episodes. You know, like we haven't seen him since Chi Cheng jumped him. There's been no mention of him. And then suddenly he's like on the scene. Like I get it. Like I'm not against this character coming, but I feel like there should have been some hints to like his involvement in some way before this. Like even if something small in like, I don't know, like 3-4 episodes that they just like mention his name for whatever reason, right? Even something small like that would have been enough, but it's just like literally out of buttfuck nowhere, he just appears. It does seem like it might be an editing issue, it might be a production issue, I'm not sure, but it's weak storytelling. I'll say that much. I'm still enjoying it, don't get me wrong, but it's weak. I'm just being very like objective about it. It's weak storytelling. Though I will say the one thing I'm liking about this plot is the first time we see Xue making a genuine sacrifice for Chi Cheng. And I know people might be like, oh, he's sacrificed for Chi Cheng, he's done this and this. But I don't feel like there's ever been a moment where he's had to kind of abandon all his dignity and his pride and put his money on the line, which is something he really values and stuff like that. He hasn't had to sacrifice on that level. So I think this is a good character moment from that perspective. But yeah. So is he like paralyzed, or does he just have like a broken leg? I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, he's paralyzed. Honestly, this is a pretty valid crash out. Like, I'm gonna be straight up, like Chi Cheng, yeah, he kind of deserved to get jumped a bit, but like what did he do? He just told Chi Cheng to get lost. That's why Chi Cheng paralyzed him. Like, I want to reiterate, you know, these characters, I enjoy these characters, but don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Chi Cheng is not a good person by any means. Don't get it twisted. I'm only supporting him because he's the main character or one of the main characters. But other than that, he's not a good person. There's this event, and then I don't forget what he did in episode 1, episode 2. That like we got to throw the idea that these are good people out of the way, you know, because I think people have this misunderstanding when I say I like these characters. It's not because I think they're good people. I just think they're interesting characters to follow. Like Chi Cheng is a bad person. Like he's actually objectively a bad person, but he's fascinating to kind of watch as a viewer. Oh, he closed the business. I feel like he definitely did something. Like he gave something, sacrificed something. I feel like he's... Okay, maybe not. Okay, I kind of got a theory. I feel like he might have let Zhenglong, I think his name is, break his leg as well, because he was leaning on that thing and he kind of looked like he looked pale as well. So I'm theorizing that he let him break his leg or some shit, like to pay him back in a way so that he can, like, he could take the tax evasion crime off Qi Cheng. It's treating jail like a vacation. It's crazy work. Well, he was just having a nap. He's pretty good, to be honest. To be fair, I think Qi Cheng could survive in prison. So I'm not worried about him in that way. It's just like being away from the real world is the only thing he'd probably be like annoyed by. But I think he could belong in prison. Like he could do it in there. Well, if he's already been, has he already been convicted? That's what I'm curious about. Because if he's been convicted, like, okay, you're fucked then. And Qi Cheng's, there's no way Qi Cheng's gonna stay quiet if he takes the fall anyway. So even if he did take the fall, there's no way Qi Cheng's shutting up. If he decided to take the fall, Qi Cheng would be like, no, it was me, it was all me. Like, you know, he's not gonna let that happen. So I'm curious how he's gonna get him out of this situation. Oh, I love it. Bro, I love his sister. I knew she was gonna be a G. Like, I knew it because as soon as I saw her, I'm like, she spotted Yu Ye's bullshit straight away. Like, she had this kind of vibe about her that she's like, she was gonna be supportive. What do you mean? You've got a grandson. I guess it doesn't have your surname, but it's still your grandson. Like the bloodline, if you care about the bloodline, it's still there. What if the mum actually accepts Shuei before the dad? I thought he was going to be opposite, to be fair, but I feel like the mum might accept him faster. Bro is still a menace to society. Like, now that he's not being like an annoying menace to like causing issues between the two of them, personality wise, he's actually fun to watch because he's such an idiot. Like, he's just such a little menace. But he's actually funny to watch. Reminds me of like a little goblin. Just chaos for the sake of chaos. That's his. Oh shit. They're actually going back. You know, I gotta respect it. I gotta respect the loyalty he has to being a petty motherfucker. Like, I gotta respect it. I'm gonna be straight up. Oh, he's the adopted one. He's the... Oh! I thought the older one was adopted. Okay. Yeah, they look nothing like brothers, you know, because even I was confused when Big Bro first appeared. I thought they were dating for sure, or like they were together. I think Wang Zheng came back because he's like, you know what, I might as well go back so I can stop this idiot from going too far. Well, Qi Cheng did beat his ass, so maybe he does have some bitterness to him. Like, all I'm saying, if someone jumped me like Qi Cheng and Cheng Yu jumped him, I'm definitely not forgetting that. I'm waiting for my get back. So I wouldn't be surprised if he like I wouldn't blame the bro if that's what he was doing. He's not, but I wouldn't blame him at all. Okay, so he's officially in prison now. Like the proper prison, not just a holding cell. I wonder what the time difference between like Chi Cheng being imprisoned and... I definitely thought they were going to get Chi Cheng in prison, but it looks like they're going to go for the time skip route. Like Chi Cheng's going to do his years in prison and then come out. Like, who's that? Oh, found him. Found him. Okay, I think we're going to get him out of prison. Getting your ass beat by Shuei's got to be next level shame. I'm sorry. I'm not saying you can't fight or anything, but like out of everyone you get your ass beat by, I respect it. He can finally beat someone. Oh yeah, he got the MMA training from Big Bro. I guess they're gonna try to get him to go to the cops and say, "Oh, I was behind everything." These two starting a crime syndicate. Imagine getting... I'm not gonna say it, don't worry. I don't care. It's not an excuse. I don't care if your grandmother's dying, bro. That's not an excuse to fucking fraud someone going into prison for 5 years, 5 to 8 years. I don't know what the sentence for tax fraud is in China, but I know in Australia it's like 5 to 8 years. Like, I don't care how sick your grandma is, I'm sorry to say. Well, we already knew that, bro. We already knew that. I can already see where they're going. They're gonna let this kid get off scot-free. I know it like the back of my hand. Like, and I understand. Look, shows do this all the time. Like, oh, I had no choice. I've had to do this for my family or whatever it is. I understand. However, that doesn't free that person from punishment. I don't care how brutal that makes me sound. He did it for a good reason. You know, he had no other choice. I understand that. That doesn't matter. I'm very black and white, right? If you do the wrong thing, I don't care the reasoning behind it, you should be punished. If you do the right thing, then you're doing the right thing, you know? Like, even if you have a bad reason for doing the right thing, you're still doing the right thing. Like, that's how I've always lived my life. And, you know, people always like to say, oh, you got to focus on the gray areas. But I'm like, no, you don't. Something's either right or wrong. That's just a fact, right? Sending an innocent person to jail is wrong. I don't care what reasoning you had. Because what happens when you start looking at gray areas? What happens is it creates room for bad people to use those reasons to do bad things continuously. So it's not perfect, but I think at the end of the day, bad actions should be punished regardless of the intention behind them. Yeah, where's he gonna get that money from, bro? Bro's broke right now. I guess we've still got Chi Cheng's parents, but I doubt his dad's gonna give it to him because it feels like his dad wants him to go to prison so he learns a lesson. To be straight up, Chi Cheng should serve a couple of years in prison because he's committed so many crimes. Like, let's be straight up about that. Yeah, he's not behind the tax evasion, but he does deserve to be in prison. Let's not get it twisted. So he's not visited him yet in prison? I mean, I guess maybe it's like, I don't want to see you in this place type vibes. It's probably his guilt as well. Because he definitely blames himself. I'm curious how long has passed since like he got arrested. Can't be more than a couple of months. Like you got to think like this guy is actually doctor is such a good person because think about it. Doctors are making bank. I don't care what country you're in. They're making bank in most, if not all countries. Right? He's chosen not to make bank so he can help people that are disadvantaged and that can't afford, you know, like private healthcare and stuff like that. Like he could be rich. That's just the fact. He could be rich if he wanted to. He's growing as a person. That's why. I feel like he's going to make a deal with their parents to get the money. Like, I don't know, I'm going to stop seeing Chi Cheng or some shit like that. Oh, he's going to sell the house. Shit, that's big. That's a big sacrifice. How much even is like what did they say? 5 million. What was it? 5. What's the Chinese currency? $1 million? Oh, okay. He's getting people to look at the house. Oh, he's getting an extra meal. That's like 1.5 at one. Or 1.2, 1.3. Bro, that's 2 million less than what it's... bro, don't accept that. Don't accept that. Just say, okay, 5.5 we agree on. Sign, bro. Right, get this on paper. Don't do a fucking a spoken agreement. Yeah, there you go. Smart. Smart. Never agree on spoken deals. Ever. I'm surprised he actually went through with selling the house. Like that, the character growth Shuei's gone through, it's wonderful. Like Shuei never would have made this type of sacrifice a year ago even. Like imagine how hard that could be. It's like the last remnant of his parents. He's like closing that chapter fully in his life if you think about it. It's like the last fragment of his childhood as well. I need to know the time difference. Like when did he get arrested? It's got to be minimum 3 months, right? At this point. Oh shit. Bro's like, okay, I gotta gather myself. He's like, shit, I should have had a shave before I got here. Sorry, just the fact that they're allowed in a room like this when he's a prisoner is just taking me the fuck out of this scene. I know it's because the budget's low, but there's no way in any world this is ever happening. Like putting a prisoner so like close to someone from the outside. I knew he wasn't going to be happy about that. Oh shit. Yeah. Bro's going to be fuming at himself for forcing him to make that choice. The character development is amazing with Shuei. It's the guilt, right? But, not the guard shipping it. But yeah, it's definitely from the guilt. The fucking dumbass thing to do, but it's from the guilt of like, how could I put this pressure on my partner? How could I, like, how could this happen, you know? It's like a punishment. It's a self-punishment. I'm not surprised about that reaction. I kind of had a feeling it was coming. Yeah, so I think the biggest issue here is, number one, Chi Cheng's whole biggest thing is, it's something I've noticed throughout the show, not something that was too much of a problem that to bring attention to it, but he lacks the ability to accept help from other people, especially like his partner, because he feels maybe guilty of accepting other people's help. Like he wants to be the one that provides these sacrifices and things like that. So I think it's something he needs to work through in this one episode that we have left. But yeah, I'm not surprised at all by this turn of events. This guard low-key acting as his dad is fucking killing me. Most supportive prison guard I've seen. Chi Cheng's definitely his actor is definitely the best actor in this show, in my opinion. They're all good, but him in particular is like special. Yeah, that guilt is gonna kill him. Is that it? Okay, final episode of the fuck? Okay, sorry, that was very strange. I don't know why it wasn't starting. Okay, episode 24. So this is the final episode of the series. Oh yes. Oh, bro, I'm sick of your stubbornness. Your son's just like you as well. Okay, mom's already on his side. That's hilarious. I thought she was going to be the bigger problem. I'm going to be straight up with you guys. Though I think the mom's thing at the end of the day is like, as long as my son is ultimately happy, even if not happy with the choices he's making, as long as this is the only, like, is going to this is what's going to make him happy, then I'm going to support him in any way I can. I think that's the difference between the two, where the dad wants to kind of force Chi Cheng into the mold that he wants to see from him, where the mom's kind of just like, I know who my son is, in a way. It took her a while, I feel like, to get to this point, but at least she's always had more, like, she knows who her son is, as opposed to his dad is trying to force him into this mold of what he thinks his heir should be like. She's like, you know what? I don't mind a little hardworking son-in-law. She's like, if he's gonna be with a guy anyway, might as well be you. I'm so curious what this tastes like, these candies. Oh, so Chi Cheng actually talks about his family with Shui. That's surprising. Bro is so prideful. Yeah, they definitely could have dealt. The thing is, he could have fixed this whole problem in 5 seconds. Like, they're a rich, powerful family. He could have fixed it immediately. But I think he was kind of trying to teach Chi Cheng a lesson. No. He even acts like Chi Cheng, like just grabbing shit from her and stuff. It's funny because like Chi Cheng is literally his dad's copy. Like even look-wise, they look similar. Like the features and stuff, the way they act, they're literally carbon copies of each other. But they just have a constant beef with each other. Oh, he immediately is like, look, I don't hate you. That was crazy. I just crashed out for a bit. Interesting is I think I could refer to a lot of things, but I was actually thinking about it. I feel like there's a layer of like blame because I think Chi Cheng genuinely felt like a mother-son relation, like bond with Shuei's mum, and like getting rid of that last part of her kind of really fucked him up. I think there's also the guilt of like forcing Shuei to make this decision. Even though it wasn't really his fault, you know, he didn't do tax evasion, you know, he's framed, but like just the guilt of that. But then I also think there's another layer of like, he also is, you know, that relationship that he had with Shuei's mum as well. I don't know, I'm not so sure about that right now, but he oh yeah, he's like doesn't want to risk the disappointment. Wait, they're his godparents as well. Oh, they're brothers. They're real brothers. Okay. Wait, he did say godfather and godmother, right? Yeah, okay, those are his godparents. Okay, no, they're brothers for real. Like, they're as close as you can be brothers with another person without being related directly through blood. Yeah, good friend. You know what I would say? Like, what I'll say, as like irritating as a dad can be, I think they really like locked in on like a typical like a typical, I don't know what the term, ethnic parent, like an Asian parent, Middle Eastern parent, like, you know, like non-white parents, right? Basically, they're really locked in on what they are like, especially a dad. Like this guy is just so real. Like, you know, sometimes you watch these K-dramas or C-dramas, I guess that's what they're called, Chinese ones. And the dad's this like amazing, like forgives everything, is like so progressive and open to everything. And that's cool to see, don't get me wrong. But like the realisticness of this type of like Asian dad or Middle Eastern dad or whatever it is, like ethnic dad, let's say, is so real that I love it. Like, it's like, get that shit yourself. That's hilarious. Nah, that's okay. I'll do the same thing. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't. That's stealing from small business owners, which I don't agree with that type of shit. Çıktı bizimki. I mean, he's out. Sorry. Okay, so he's accepted it in some way. And he even accepted it in the most dad way possible, where he's like, he's not going to apologize or say, oh, you can do what you could. I accept it and I support it. He's not going to do any of that shit. He's just going to not say anything about it. That's kind of what it's going to be. How did they get here before him? Nah, bro, did they pull that shit out of their inventory? Where the fuck did he pull those guns from? Bro literally pulled them out of his inventory. Oh, here we go. It's a full-out war. Wang Chao getting all his vengeance in this moment. Cheng Yu dual wielding absolute machine guns is crazy work. Oh, here we go. What did he bring? Bro brought a tank. What's in the tank? Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, I brought a hose, a full proper one. The most questionable thing about this is how the fuck is that cigarette staying lit? It wasn't even a hose, it was like a fucking fire hydrant. Oh wow, they flooded the place, bro. That's got to be breaking all kinds of laws. Okay, let's not fuck in the water now. Chill, calm down. You're still in a public place. Okay, here we go. Spoiled brats already complaining. Oh yeah, Chi Cheng's probably pent up as. So I didn't want to be that dirty, but it's the fact of the matter. For getting him out? Ain't nothing brotherly about you two. Let's get out of that ballpark. I don't want to hear any brother talk when you are absolute freaks of nature with each other. Bro skipped the dating stage completely. He's like, nah, we've been married. Not legally, of course, but he's like, bro, it's been months. We're not sleeping, I'll tell you that much. He's like, get the fuck out of my room right now. I guess he's exhausted from all that working, and then they probably did some extra stuff before he went to bed. So he's been sleeping since like they came back home. That looks good though. Reminds me I need to make dinner after this. I love how much Chi Cheng stresses him out, bro. He's the big boss. Cheng Yu is such a big brother, man. Bro slept what, like 3 days? You lost your personal chef. Oh, he's got a surprise plan for him. I bet you, 100%. If I know anything about this simp. I really need to know the backstory of like Cheng Yu and who he is as a person, because like, yeah, he's been a character, but I feel like if you think about it, we don't really know much about Cheng Yu. Like, we know he grew up with Chi Cheng, but you know his godparents are Chi Cheng's parents, so most likely his parents are Chi Cheng's godparents. But other than that, we don't know shit about Cheng Yu. Like, everyone, we kind of know their backstory in some way, like even Chi Cheng. Especially Chi Cheng, I feel like we know most about him. But he's the only guy we don't know too much about, like outside of his relationship with Dr. Bro, right? What's going on in your head, Doctor Bro? What's happening? There's two things. He's either like there's two things. He's either like worried about like him Cheng Yu spending all this money on him, or he's incredibly attracted to Cheng Yu right now. Well, we already know he's attracted to him, but he wants to jump his bones right now for being so sweet. There's two options. Yeah, I knew there was something going on in his head. What's worrying him? Oh, he's gonna cry from being moved. Yeah. Right, Cheng Yu is such a green flag, and people were saying he's not that green of a flag in the novel. This is not the novel, so I don't give a shit. I'm gonna be straight up. In this show, he's a green flag, okay? Bars. I don't care, man. This is the better couple. I don't give a shit what anyone says, man. And I usually have a softer spot for the green flag couple always. It's fun to watch Chi Cheng and Shui, but I don't really... Not that I don't like them as a couple, but it's like, okay, it's fine. I don't care. I don't really care for them too much as a couple, but I like the characters and the interactions they have. But these two I actually like as a couple. Because like with Shui and Chi Cheng, they're toxic. They're red flag couple. Like that, they're a toxic red flag couple. It just is what it is. And it's fun to watch, but as an actual human being, I don't care for that type of relationship. But this is a genuine like actual relationship that I like because it's what a proper relationship should be like. Oh, cock block, bro. It's like, sorry, bro, I didn't mean to. To be fair, you're at like a construction site right now, so maybe do that when you get home. Mind you, they are on an open veranda where there's a main road like right in front of it, so every Tom, Dick, and Harry can see what's going on here. It's literally on the main road as well. Oh, they fully accepted it at this point. Classic. I love how much of a classic dad he is. That reminds me of that one meme. It's like, what are you looking at, little bro? And it's like starting a fight with a baby because he gets jealous. Oh. Being jealous of your nephew is crazy work, by the way. The kid trying to keep his eyes closed. That's hilarious. I know what you're gonna do with later. What I think it's probably gonna end with him like proposing. I know they can't actually legally get married, but like just a kind of metaphorical kind of proposal. I think it's gonna happen. I'll be surprised if they don't end it that way. Oh, he bought the house. So as soon as he got out of prison, basically. These guys just made bank for doing nothing, if you think about it, this couple. Bro went on a fucking adventure trying to find it. Who would take the tree, though? Okay, what was the point of that? What was the point of that plot line? I guess it's a sweet thing that he wanted him on a fucking Dora the Explorer trip for it. But what was the point of that plot line? No, it wasn't even a plot line. It was just a scene. No, he's going to start getting active now. I was wondering how he held himself back so long. Okay, looks like that's it. Okay, so that, guys, is the end of our adventures into revenge love. Well, at least for the main story. I don't know if we might do the BTS. I'm not sure yet still. But generally, we're finished. It literally feels like the end of an era because I started this like at the start of this month or maybe a bit earlier. I can't remember the exact date. But yeah, it's been like almost a month of watching this and like it feels like I've been watching. I know it's only been a month, but it feels like I've been watching it for such a long time. Because I think this is probably the longest. Yeah, I think this is the longest show we've watched so far. But yeah, I had a lot of good fun with this show. There was a lot to analyze. It's a show that you don't take too seriously, I will say, narratively, but like it's still cool watch. There's some things that you could. I like this show because you can talk about like analyze relationship stuff and just like how much of a red flag their relationship was. Like it's quite, I don't know, it's kind of became a green flag relationship almost. But yeah, all I will say is as fun as I had to watch this, I would never want to be in a relationship like this is my personal thing. Like as much as I enjoyed narratively as a story, as a show, I would hate to be in a relationship like that is all I'm saying, realistically. But it was a fun watch. I do think the ending, like the last couple of episodes, I think were weak for sure. Like felt like it was rushed. There was like certain plots I was like, why do we even need this in there? Like the taxing plot line makes sense because they needed something where Shuei makes a big sacrifice, right? Which I think's kind of made obsolete by the fact that the sacrifice isn't really a sacrifice because Chi-Cheng just buys the house after. And like it's nice because it's like happy ending. But from a narrative perspective, like I feel like when a character makes a big sacrifice or gets a big loss, I feel like the idea of that loss not happening, I think it degrades that storyline. I hate like when a character dies and they come back to life or something is lost like this and then they just get it back in an episode later. So from a purely just looking at it as a story, I think it cheapened the story a bit. However, if we're looking at it purely through the emotion that it gives you as a viewer and just like, oh, you're happy that he got his house back, then yeah, it's fun, happy, nice, whatever. I have some criticisms about this show. I think the first 16, 18 episodes were really well done and everything made sense. I think the second section from like 19 to like 24, I think there was definitely good things, but then there was a lot of just like rushed plots. There's a lot of cheapened storytelling. I just felt like the last stretch, the storytelling was so much weaker than the first half, in my opinion. Like, honestly, everything after, Shuei finding out, Chi-Cheng finding out about the truth of Shuei's plans and stuff, everything after that, I feel like it just got weaker from that point on. Up until that point, I think the storytelling was on point. And like I said, it could be attributed to the fact that I think the second half was like cancelled and then they brought it back, but they edited it down considerably and stuff like that. At least that's what people in the comments were saying. So it could be attributed to that we got a weaker second half. I still enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. It sounds like I'm like criticizing it harshly, and I am, but I did enjoy it. I'm just saying it definitely, the second half was definitely way weaker as a story. And then there was just certain plots that I felt, okay, like why do we need that in there? It just seems useless sometimes, but I still enjoyed it. I definitely wish they focused a bit more on the second couple for sure. Like, I feel like we did get a focus with them, But I feel like even the way they explored the doctor's trauma with his past, I feel like they didn't explore it as well as they could have. Because it's not a simple trauma, right? It was alluded to that he was sexually assaulted. He was groomed, right? It was alluded to that because like when he met his previous partner, he was a teacher and then the doctor was like a student. So there was definitely like some alluding to him being groomed as well. And I feel like they didn't focus on that trauma as well as they could have. I think they did as much as they could with the screen time they provided, but I definitely think that was a weaker section for me. I think they could have given more attention to that. And it might be different in the novel, I'm not sure, but I'm just judging it based on the media that I consumed, right? So it might be different in the novel, I don't know. But my interpretation of it, I feel like they could have explored that more and in a more in-depth way. Because like trauma doesn't end just because the guy gets sent to prison or whatever happened to him, right? That doesn't mean the trauma's finished there. So I feel like they could have explored that a bit more, but then again, screen time is the issue. That's why I wish they got more screen time with Cheng Yu and the doctor, but I get it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think this show's like a solid. If I'm going to judge it purely based on like narrative and plot, just from a purely storytelling perspective, I give it like a solid 6.8 out of 10, maybe a 7 if I'm pushing it. Enjoyment wise, I would say like an 8.5 out of 10. But yeah, I'd give it like a solid 7. This one, it's not the best. It's not one of the best BLs I've watched by far, but it's better than the average BL that I've watched. So I think it's above average, but it's not anything to be like, oh, this is insanely good. It's fun to watch. It's very fun to watch, though. I will say that much. Characters are interesting. There's just some things I criticize because I think certain plot points weren't given enough attention and like gravity to them as they should have been. But I get it, you know. It's still enjoyable. You know, it sounds like I'm criticizing the shit out of it, but I'm just getting all my opinions out at the end of this just so I can kind of talk about my thought process. Yeah, so I enjoyed it. So I give it a solid 7 out of 10. You know, it's a fun watch. That's all I'll say. If you're expecting some insanely interesting, like social commentary type shit, this is not the show for that, right? There's hints of talking about like, you know, same-sex couples not being able to be married and stuff like that. There's some more hints of stuff like that. But if that's what you're expecting from this show, it's not the show for that. It's a show that you just have a fun time and enjoy the red flagness of these people. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Anyway, that was my reaction. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my reactions to this series. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.